As the 1770s unfolded, tensions simmered between the American colonists and the British Crown. Unbearable taxes and the imposition of British governance had sown seeds of resentment among the populace. In a move that inflamed the colonists, Britain passed the Tea Act, granting the British East India Company a monopoly on the tea trade. This act lowered the price of tea, but maintained the import tax, implying unwelcome acceptance of parliamentary taxation. Throughout the colonies, opposition to the Tea Act was widespread. Merchants, particularly, who were affected by the potential disruption to their businesses, led loud protests. In Boston, influential groups like the Sons of Liberty, led by Samuel Adams, organized resistance against what they saw as blatant economic oppression. November 1773 saw the first of several British tea ships arrive at Boston's docks. The Dartmouth carried a load of tea that would spark significant unrest. Whispers of a dramatic act began surfacing in Boston taverns and meeting halls. Revolution was afoot, and the momentum was building. Massachusetts Governor Thomas Hutchinson faced a critical decision: yield to the demands of the colonists or enforce British law and collect the coveted tea tax. Adams and his cohorts continually demanded that the tea ships turn back without unloading. The tension was thick, and no party was willing to back down. The law stated that if a ship's cargo hadn't been unloaded in 20 days, it would be seized. The colonists realized time was pressing and action was imminent. Frequent town meetings were held, rallying public opinion and orchestrating the escalating campaign against British infringement. This growing catchphrase underscored the colonial grievance, echoing through meeting halls and pamphlets, galvanizing the populace. The opportunity was ripe to channel the public's anger into a single, dramatic event that would send a resounding message to the crowd. By now, the Beaver and the Eleanor had also docked, further straining the capacity of colonial negotiation and tolerance. The Sons of Liberty, meeting in dimly lit rooms, hatched a daring plan that would echo through history. Philanthropic merchants, aware of the potential for violent backlash, urged caution and a peaceful resolution. On this fateful morning, Boston was teeming with whispers of what was to come. A palpable energy permeated the air. Gathered in a cavernous room, thousands had congregated to discuss what some saw as a final straw in the Crown's abuse of power. Standing defiantly, Adams reportedly uttered words of defiance that set the radical elements of his party into motion. Inspired by Adams' fervor, scores of men made their way to Griffin's Wharf disguised as Mohawk Indians, creating a facade of unity and anonymity. Led by Adams' cadre, the disguised men silently, purposefully strode towards their destiny, single-minded and resolute. With a sense of urgency and determination, they boarded the Dartmouth, Eleanor, and Beaver, their every action deliberate. Chests of tea were pulled onto the deck, lifted by straining arms and willing spirits, a sight that both invigorated and terrified onlookers. One by one, each chest was smashed and its contents poured overboard, painting a dark tableau against the cold harbor waters. Onlookers, both participant and pedestrian, watched in rapt amazement as the night unfolded. Watching from afar, Governor Hutchinson gazed at the harbor, realizing the implications of the acts being committed. Throughout Boston, news of the audacious protests spread quickly, becoming the talk of every tavern and home. As the last of the tea disappeared into the depths, a calm settled over the wharf, a collective breath held, a statement made. Across the Atlantic, news reached King George III and the British Parliament, where it caused shock and fury. Infuriated, Britain responded with a coercive axe, tightening its stranglehold, further alienating the colonies. The protest had done more than destroy tea. It kindled a fire that would soon spread, setting the scene for revolution. Across the colonies, solidarity grew. The Boston Tea Party had unified disparate factions in a common cause. Historically, this protest became a powerful emblem of resistance against tyranny, a spark that fueled the fever of independence that swept through America.